So today is week 5, and we're just going to go over basically what we did for the first 4 weeks. I'm going to run through it 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to go over how we really find our trades, how we trade like an institution. And we're going to go over Trading View, and I have Queen Flex on here. She just stepped out, but she will be going over Trading View so you guys know how to actually use Trading View's platform, because it has plenty of tools on there that you definitely need to know when you want to be a trader. And what I mean by that is anybody can follow somebody's trades, but what happens when that person, has a loser streak? You don't want to lose all them trades. You know what I mean? You always want to be able to pick out your own trades every now and then. To where if you don't have no internet connection or you can't get into the Discord to find a trade or see what anybody's calling out, you definitely just want to make sure you know how to find a trade yourself. Have your watch list, check the charts, see what they're doing, and go on from there. But right now we got, let me go to the options real quick. We're gonna run through those. And as you can see, I've been growing this account ever since January. Well, our first class, I had 168 in here. Now we're up to 4,600. Thank you, NVIDIA and Meta. You guys are doing me justice, and Tesla. So going over the options like normal. I would like everybody to at least try to get an option this week, because next week I would like you to let me know what you got into. We'll go over it, see how much you made, how much you lost, what you could have did better. As long as you made money, there ain't nothing you could have did better. I don't care if you made $2 on it or $2,000 on it. As long as you don't close red, that's all that really matters to me, because it's a marathon, not a race. But to run through it again, we are going to pick a stock. We're going to roll with NVIDIA because I got one of them. So we're going to hold that on there. Either on Robinhood or Webull, wherever you're trading the options on, you'll want to go to your trade options. Bring up your option chain. Everything goes by your price range. Whatever you have in your account, that's what you have to try to play with, no matter what. And you don't want to play with your whole account, because if it goes south, you don't want to, belly up real quick. So if you got 500, trade with 100. If you got 1,000, trade with 200. You know what I mean? So on and so forth. When you're playing options, the main thing about options is you want to keep some cash, because it can go to south with no fucking problem. I mean, just like that can go south. So you don't want to have your whole account and that shit go south. So you always want to leverage your money and trade, not with everything, but keep around 70% cash flow. You know what I mean? If anything, the better you get, the more you can bet. You know what I mean? Because you'll know how to cut your losses with no problem. Okay, so as of now, I got maybe, let's say, $400 worth of buying power. So if I was getting one of these options, I will have to go to the 765 strike price, because the premium is 398. I got $400, so that's right on $2 under what I have. My chance of profit I'm looking at is 13%, which ain't too bad. To break even is 6.65%. To see if that's a possible round to get to. You'll like just to go back to the video. Go right back there and go back a month. And it ran 33% in 1 month.
Are we supposed to be looking at your screen?
Oh, didn't share my screen. I'm so sorry, young lady. I got you. Queen over here eating fruit. She ain't even let me know. She got her Tojina on it. Here we go. Sharing my screen now. How are we looking?
I can see it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me rewind a little bit. So you're gonna go to your options, Webull or trade Robinhood, whatever you're trading on, TD Ameritrade. Go to your option chain. Like I said, it goes by the amount of money that you have in your account for what option you can get. So if somebody calls out they're getting into an NVIDIA and you got $400, you'll be up at this 765 strike price, because the premium is 398. So it's $2 under your strike price. And then you want to go over your option chain, see what you got. You got a chance of profit of 14%, which ain't bad. To break even is 6.65%. This was exactly where I left off before I knew I wasn't sharing my screen. All right, so boom, you go back to NVIDIA, pull up the chart. You can do that on Robinhood. And you want to go back a week. In 1 week, it ran 9.25%. So is it in the realm of running 6.65% for you to get to your break even? Oh, most definitely. Do we need it to run 6.5%? No, we don't, for us to make some money. So let's go back to the chain. 765. So like I said, to break even, 6.655%. Can it move it? Yes. Do we need to move it? No. For us to make more than $400 that we're putting in. Now the percent change of this particular option today was 75%. It didn't get to its break even, but it still ran 75%. So let's click on it. Wrong one. So the high of the day was $410 for this particular contract. The low of the day was $252. So you technically could have got it at $252 and shit got out of it at $352 or even $400. But either way, it still was low as $252 and ran to $410, meaning you can make some money on these contracts without it getting to its break even. So the $400 would definitely have turned in at least $5, maybe $650. And then you could have held it and see what else could have turned into. Or that would have turned into a day trade. You never know. Because if you'd have bought it at 9:30, right? We're going to go through a quick example. You could have bought it at 9:30 and say that was as low at 252. And you're in there for a scalp. The low is 252, so it never dropped below that. So hey, it could have went to 300. You could have sold within 5 minutes. Boom, you just had a scalp. Or hey, I want to get a little greedy. Let me hold it for a little longer. Now from 252, you seen it hit 410 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, then you sell it. Now you're a day trader. You know what I mean? Because you sold it in one day. Or you could be like me and you know what? I think it can go higher than this 410. Yeah, it retrace back down to this, but it can go higher than the 410. So I'm going to swing it till tomorrow. And now I'm a swing trader. You can actually be all three traders with no problem in one trade. So it just depends on what you're trying to do, how much you're trying to make. All right, so back to what I'm saying. The percent change, 75%. That means it ran pretty decent. Now that's plus 171. So that means it ran $171 from its open to right now, which is pretty good. So like I said, when you're going in there and looking, you want to skim through all these things. After that, you always want to check the open interest and the value. Make sure there's some in both of them. If there's some in both of them, that means you can get rid of the option, and that means the option is moving. The implied volatility, 51%, meaning it can go up 51% from where it's at or go down 51% from where it's at for the year. Not like in a week or anything, but just for the whole year. Like I said, these numbers are just theoretical numbers, mathematical equations that they come up with. Now the Greeks, like I said, not important. You can look at them if you want. Like the two important ones, if you do look at them, are delta and theta. Delta, how much you make if it goes up $1. Theta is what you lose every time it goes down $1 or throughout the day. You know what I mean? But like I said, you don't have to pay attention to those too much. Because if you know the stock is going up, guess what? That shit don't matter. But if you losing money, guess what? You know you're losing money. So it don't matter how much you're losing anyway. Right now, that's a quick run through of what you will look at when you are in the market trying to find an option. Chance of profit, break even, how much the option costs, so you know how much you can purchase it for. Then back to the strike price to make sure it can get there or get close to it so you know this option can make some money. Question in the chat. 1 second. Okay. Why is a day trader such a bad label? A day trader is not a bad label. I don't like no labels as a trader, as long as you're a trader. You know, scalper, swing trader, somebody who gets them leapers. If you trade, you trade. That's how I look at it. People take day trader as a bad thing because they think everybody's trading penny stocks. And you know, penny stocks are so volatile, or people are chasing the mean plays that, you know, like GameStop and shit like that. So that's why day trader got such a bad label. But other than that, no bad label. As long as you're making money, you're making money. Excuse me, where's my pen at? Okay. So yeah, as long as you're making money, you're making money. Day trader, swing trader, but bad label is because a lot of people lose a lot of money in day trading. You're gonna lose money anyway. I tell you, tell everybody every time I talk to them, you're gonna lose money. If you don't think you're gonna lose no money, you shouldn't be trading. Should you be trading your rent money? No. Should you work overtime and trade that money? Yes, because that's extra money in your pocket. So it doesn't touch if it doesn't affect the bills that you pay. Put that money in the market so you know that's free money. My golden rule is I call it monopoly money until you cash out. So meaning if I'm in a trade right now, I'm up. Supposedly I'm up. Let me see. So I swung this one over the weekend. So right now I'm up $538. Technically it's monopoly money because I didn't sell it. So it's really not mine. It's not mine until I sell it. So I can look at this Monday morning, that bitch can be down to nothing. It could be down to negative fucking $500. So that means I lost $1,000 by open bell. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Until I sell it, that's when I consider it mine. But while it's in here, I just look at it as monopoly money, no emotions towards it. If I have it, great, and I make money on it, even better. If I lose money, I just try not to lose as much. But I can't get mad because it's play money, it's not bill money, it's not nothing important. It's literally money for the future. So you gotta risk some money to make some money. That's how I look at it. So if anybody's mad that they lost, a couple $100, couple $1,000 in the market, hey, you're a trader. You're gonna lose a couple $1,000 in the market. Let's see what's different. Okay, what's the difference between a swing trader, day trader, and long-term investor? A swing trader is somebody who holds it more than a day or two. A day trader is somebody who gets rid of it within that day. A long-term investor who's somebody who doesn't sell it, period. Like we have Nvidia, Meta, Apple, Tesla, and Johnson & Johnson that we haven't sold since we started investing. They're basically, they ain't even ours, they're our kids. You know what I mean? That's how you got to look at it. So a long-term investor, that's really for the future and your grandkids, kids, and shit like that. Just let them mature, keep adding to it. Anytime it's a dip, buy some more. I'm hoping another COVID comes so I can rack up again. But yeah, long-term investor, you just don't sell it. You live off your dividends if you have enough of it. You know what I mean? But if you don't have enough dividends, you're not selling it anyway. Keep working your 9 to 5 and keep depositing money into it. Okay, I just do what makes money per day. Exactly. All you gotta do, whatever makes you money per day, that's what you is. If you're a scalper for that day and you made $10,000 scalping, guess what? You're a scalper. If you made $10,000 day trading, meaning you bought it in the morning, sold in the afternoon, guess what? Be happy being a day trader. But it don't matter. As long as you're making money, that's the best way to do it. All right, going right into TradingView. Wrong chart. Ha. All right, so TradingView. I asked everybody to get one. If you want to be a serious trader, definitely get a TradingView. If you can have me on like the side listening and follow what everything's going, you will be able to read and understand what all these tools are on the left-hand side and across the top of the screen. Understand the watch list and all these little tools over here on the right-hand side. Queen Flex will explain all that good stuff. So as of now, when you open up TradingView, usually everybody has a plain chart. So anytime I'm looking for my trades, I'm on the video right now. Go up to the little search, make sure you're on stocks. And top of the thing, the video, NASDAQ, boom, it comes up. What I like to do, I go to the 4-hour time frame, and you'll know what all this stuff is. Just give you guys a quick glimpse of how I pick my trades and decide what I'm getting into. So I go to the 4-hour time frame, and I look at the last candle that closed on the 4-hour chart, which will be this one, the previous candle close. And on the top of your screen, you have these little icons and trend lines and all this other good stuff you guys will be finding out about. But I set a trend,
Justin,
oh, sorry about that.
You have time frame. You have some. That's much more work. Okay.
Easy peasy. I like to put a resistance line on top and put my support line on the bottom. Those are technical terms of where it usually don't go past the support. I mean, it doesn't break the support or it doesn't break the resistance, so it usually stays in the channel. So I wait till it goes towards one direction to break the channel. So that's on the 4-hour time frame. Then I'll drop down to the hourly and look at what happened. I'm like, okay, it broke my channel to the upside. It didn't break it to the downside. So Monday, which is tomorrow, I will be going in looking for calls. Even though it can retrace and come back down here, this is basically my new support line. So I don't mind if it comes down here if I'm getting like a 2-week out option, because I'll wait for a little pullback in the morning, but I'm looking to get in around probably 720, 719 for the stock price, just because it already broke my resistance and went through it, closed above it, and this candle even opened above it on the hourly. So that's perfect setup for me. So with TradingView is more than just putting that one line there, and they have more tools than that. After you get the hang of TradingView, you come over to the sauce. And this is actually what I see when I'm trading. So on the 4-hour time frame, this particular indicator, which you'll see where all those are at, they have thousands of indicators on here. You'll get the hang of it and find out which ones work for you. If you're in the Discord, I will be doing classes every now and then on different indicators, or ask me about an indicator when I'm in there, and we can walk through it. But they're pretty simple to get. It's just they're hard to master. You know what I mean? So the 3 I got rolling right now, I got the Larazen classification, which is one with all the little numbers. I got the Lux Algo, which is this little blue line right here. And I got my Wick Pressure by Sid Wolf, which is over here to the left of the screen, this little box right here. Then on the bottom of the screen, can't forget about you, I have my, don't know what you are. Oh, my VSLRT. I usually keep the TTM squeeze there. Let me put that back on there because that's my other favorite one. I learned that from a pro. Add that to the bottom. Where you at? Where you at? Oops.
Please, Chicks, can you share your screen, please?
Can I share my screen? I am sharing my screen.
Oh,
Yes, I think I am. Somebody told me I wasn't earlier, and I started sharing it. It started working again.
oh, well,
Try it now.
okay.
Good to go? Okay. Yeah, question. I see you. Give me 1 second. Chain popping up. All right, I'll tell you that and show you that in a second. Let me go to this question real quick. Do you recommend Essential Plus or Premium level? Essential Plus, I think that gets up to 6 indicators. That is fine. You don't need more than 6. If you need more than 6 indicators, you don't need to be trading. And what I mean by that, you'll see people that have a whole bunch and some of them contradict themselves. You know what I mean? Some of the indicators will contradict themselves. This one is saying it's going up, but this one is saying it's going down. The ones I have on here are all continuous, as you can see. This particular one is telling me it's up, and this one is telling me it's going to continue to go up. A little tongue twisted there. So this one is telling me has the potential to get to 756 by February and 741 by February 21st. And that's why I like this particular one right here. It's the Lex Algo. But like I said, you guys will get all this information after Queen expresses how to get all this information. So back to my original screen. anytime something breaks, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Because it's over my resistance, meaning it has potential to keep going. Now, for me to understand, does it have the potential to keep going? Does it have the value? I have to go to my man Jarvis for this. Now, Jarvis is in the Discord. Let me go to that real quick so I can show y'all where he's at. Well, while that's loading up, I want to bring up Jarvis for you. Now, Jarvis is the institution's, well, basically not the institutions because some of my trades get in here. When you get the breakdown of it, you'll understand. So don't worry about it. But anyway, if you look at Jarvis, go across the top, it lets you know that you have the volume over open interest. That's in the stocks. I mean, that's in the option chain. Stocks or ETFs, we go with all of them all the time. We have calls and puts. You don't want neither one because you want to know what's moving, so we keep it all. And then over here, we have our expiration date. So right now, I have it for the 16th. Now for the algo score, it's a little toggle thing. The score is for these little rockets over here and these little flames. Now, 1 is decent, 2 is good, but 3 is better, if you know what I mean. So if you see 3 rockets, 3 flames, fantastic option, and I'll get to what I mean when you see those. So the score, the higher you go, it filters it out for you and lets you know what is really moving and what's really not moving. Go to the highest. That's the highest scores they have so far. So these are the ones that's really going to moon because they have the highest score. Not all the time, but theoretically. So we're going to move this back down to normal so we can see a lot more of them. So right now, if you look on the left side of the screen, it has the time. These are times these particular option go in. We call it the flow because it's showing you the flow of the option chain. So not me, somebody else, institution probably, purchased Tesla at 193.51. The strike price was 197.50, right? And that's a call because it's green. Expiration February 16th. Now, if we go to Tesla, we will see that Tesla is not at 197.50. Tesla's at 193.51. So they put a 197.50 call in, meaning they think it's going to get up there or close to it to where they can get some money. Now, the price was $272, so that means they paid $272 and they bought 344 of them. The premium was $93,000, so that's what the total they paid for this particular option. So the volume open interest $59,000, open interest $8,000. A lot of people play open interest over volume. Some people play volume over open interest. I look at it as they both got a lot of numbers. I can play it. You know what I mean? Last week we went over what type of sectors there are in the stocks. This is cyclical. So right now the score is at a 1 rocket, meaning okay, it's pretty decent. But as you go down, you see there's another one for Tesla, 193.50. That's the spot. But it's a $200 call. Then you come down again, another Tesla, $200 call. Then you see another Tesla, 197 call. So now you look over and you see how much they're paying, 220,000, 734,000, 786,000. So it's over $2 million in these 4 flow on the chain that came through for these particular options. So for me, I can go put my little $500 on this particular option or find one that's in my price range. If they're willing to put that much fucking money on it, yeah, I can put my little $500 on it. You see what I'm saying? Or my $1,000 on it. And I can make some money. Obviously I'm not gonna make what they make, but I know I'm going in the right direction when I see these type of things coming in. Now something like this, NVIDIA 675 put, that might make me nervous because I got a call. You know what I mean? But the momentum on NVIDIA is looking strong. But you can always come up here to the left side of the screen, to the ticker side, and just type in your stock and just see what the flow came in on it. You look at the top right, you got $941,000 in calls and $287,000 in puts. So the calls is definitely out, overweighing the puts. We got a 750 at 740, 740, 740, 750. So it's looking like, and we got a couple double rockets over here. You know what I mean? Shit, I know simple math. If I add all three of these together, that's 6 rockets. Then I go to this one, that's 8 rockets. So to me, I'm in a good boat. Because now you come back to Tesla. I mean, go back to NVIDIA. Because with Tesla, what I got? I called out a 190 call for March 1st. So long as Tesla's over 190 by March 1st, I'm going to make some money. But if it gets to that $200 mark, I'll make a lot of money. But let's go to NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA is sitting at 721. Now, we're seeing all the big institutions putting out 750 calls, 740 calls. So as a retail trader, what we are, we'll come over here. Well, okay, let me see this 740 call, see how much this shit costs. Do I got $883? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But if you see all that money going in there, you just go find out your sweet spot, whatever your price range is. But they're going to push it near this number because they're not going to lose no money. Do institutions manipulate the market? Of course they do. And if we had enough money, we can manipulate it too. It's just that simple. If they want something to go up, guess what? They'll just buy more shares for that fucking price to go up. They'll make their money on their options. Then they'll sell cover calls or cover puts, sell it, and hedge against themselves and make even more money. But if you had enough money, you will definitely manipulate the market just because you want to always win. So if they're putting out 740s and 750s, they're going to push it up towards that direction. So I'm okay with my 720. You know what I mean? Let that bitch get to 750. My 720 will be right around. Let's see, we can actually go to the option thingy. The option simulator. So if we got the 750, let's see where I'm at. 739, 45, 50. So we got the 750. The option will be worth $3,300. I'll be up $2,265 if we got the 750. So if they keep pushing it that way, let them push it that way. Well, like I said, I'll be happy if that hit 745. I'll be happy if it hit 740. I'll be happy if it hit 730. Anything over $600 when I'm up now, I'll be happy with it. Like tomorrow morning, if it opens up $5, $6 higher, oh yeah, I might just sell it and guess what? Get back into it. So that's our good buddy Jarvis. Let me see if the Discord popped up for me yet. Nope, still loading up. So for no further ado, until my Discord starts working so I can explain that, I'm going to pass the torch over to Queen Flex, the queen of the Discord, the owner of the Discord, my boss, not my mentor, but my best friend, sort of. Till sometimes I want to choke her, I'm going to get into that. That doesn't matter. But Queen Flex, the floor is yours, and she will be explaining how to use TradingView. Yep, I will give you... Let me give you this. Is Jarvis alerts in TradingView? No, Jarvis is Jarvis. Type in jarvisalerts.com. Sign up for it. It's free. It will pop up with a dashboard first. Come over to the left side and go to flow. And that's what this is. Okay, so stop sharing. And what I do? You're all good. That was.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Hey, everyone. So today I'm gonna go over TradingView, show you some different things that it offers. You could do this on free or paid. You'll get all the tools that I'm gonna go over today. So we'll just start up top. and then work our way around TradingView. So up top, you're going to have your initial, and it'll just basically be where you would make your payments, different things like that. Your next thing is going to be your ticker. So what your ticker is whatever you're trading, whatever asset, whether it's crypto or stocks, it's going to always be up there. Your next thing that you will have is your time frames. Now, this is all preference. There's going to be some people that have 3 time frames. There's going to be somebody that has a lot of time frames like me. It's all about what you're doing, your trading style. You can just add them by hitting the drop down and starring them. When you star them, they will appear, and when you unstar them, they will disappear. Next is your candles. Right now on my chart, I have regular candles. A lot of people and beginners use Heikin-Ashi candles, which all it does is take the noise out. So the Heikin-Ashi candle allows you to stay into a trade longer because you don't see red if you're going for a call, and you wouldn't see green if you're going for a put. So it allows you to hold it a little bit longer. But if we put back on the candles that I have, there's going to be a lot more red in it. So I'm going to have to make a decision on what this red candle may mean in order to stay in my trade or get out of my trade. Next, you have your indicators. Now, as Cheeks already said, there are hundreds of indicators. Indicators are just that. They just indicate certain data. But overall, the main important thing is learning how to read a candle. Your indicators are there to help you, guide you, and to give you that confidence that the trade is going to go in the direction that you're picking, but should not be traded solely off indicator. Next, you're going to have your alarms. If you want to set an alert for something, you can set an alert for anything. You basically would just go in, whatever ticker you're on is always going to align with whatever chart you're on. So if I get out of this and I go to Meta and I want to set an alarm, it's going to now have Meta. I could pick my price, and overall, just always keep it on only once. The expiration is up to you. I usually don't touch this because I'm usually getting it alerted within a week. So it just stays on until I delete it. And then you would just hit create. Next is, we'll say that you want to possibly back test a trade. That's going to be this rewind button. So what you would do is you would hit this bar, and it's going to give you a blue line. So what the blue line is going to do is it's going to take away some of the candles. So we're going to take away all of these candles, and you're able to go back and see what it would have done. If you would have taken the play, how much money you would have made, anything of the sort. A lot of people back test for a lot of different reasons. You would come down here and you would hit play. So once you hit play, it plays out as if the trade was real. And then when it's done, it calculates back. Next are your basically your right and your left arrows. What they do is if you happen to make a mistake on your page, it will allow you to go back to what you had before then. I didn't do anything, so therefore there's nothing on my chart to go back to. Next is going to be if you don't happen to have multiple screens, but you want to see multiple layouts, you can just basically click and you can now have 2 charts up, but you can have 2 charts of 2 different assets. Right now, this is Bitcoin on this chart, and you are able to switch the indicators per chart. And then on this other chart, I have Meta. So once again, this is another thing that is preference. I usually always keep it on one. I have multiple screens, so I don't need this. I can just utilize the other screens. Next is going to be your chart layout. So if you have a chart and you want to save it with your indicators, I would say always save your charts, because there's going to be a moment where you're going to lose everything, and then at least it's saved. Depending on the tier that you have for paid or free will determine how many saved layouts you can have. For the most part, you don't need that many layouts. If you're trading different assets, it might be good. Like I don't mix my stocks with my class charts. You know, everything is different. So that's another thing that's going to be preference for you. Next is going to be your quick search. Quick search, you're not going to need at this point because I'm going to show you everything that's on there. But if you wanted to look for a specific tool, all you would have to do is click it and type it in and it will search it for you and put it there so that you're able to click it and use it right away. Next is your settings. Your settings is going to be for your chart. Some of you guys may have grid lines on your chart, and I'll just put mine there. If you can see that my lines are getting darker. I don't like a messy chart, so therefore my grids are off. I just bring everything down to 0. So the opacity for my vertical and horizontal lines are at 0. I also like to have my watermark on my chart. So I click the watermark on so I can pretty much know what I'm trading. The next important thing in here would be your candles. I have my candles set to just plain red and green candles, but on another chart, my candles are white and black. So this is another thing that's preference. I would say if you are going to change the color of your candles before you make any changes, always remember on the right side is going to be the red candles and on the left side is going to be the green candles, because the minute that you mess that up, you're going to have to set it for default because you're not going to get the right price. The asset's going to continue to go up, but your candles are going to look funky. So I would just say, make sure you trial and error, just leave it up and then kind of switch your colors. And all you have to do is hit the color and change whatever you want it to change to. Your time zone's important. Everyone, in this class, we're all at different time zones. So therefore I would change the time zone to your time zone so that you're able to trade with, the right time. And plus your clock will be on point. Next would be when you want to make your screen bigger, but I mean, most people are using laptops or computers, so I would just keep it at the size of what is given to you. Anything bigger probably doesn't really make much sense. Next is going to be your camera. If you want to take a screenshot of a chart, if you want to email Cheeks something because you have a question, you're able to mark your chart up, hit the screenshot button, whether you want to download it or copy the link and send it over to him. And he's able to see exactly what you're seeing, even if he's not, in a class with you. So just another cool tool. So any questions on the top half of TradingView? All right, let's keep pushing. Next, you have your watch list. Most of you guys' watch list has what is it? The indexes, SPY, Netflix, all that stuff. To customize and make your own, you can exit out of all of that and it will bring your watch list to nothing, which is fine. Once you have your watch list to nothing, you can hit the plus sign and you can now add whatever you want on your watch list. So if I wanted to add coin, I just type it in and then I would hit the plus sign and it will automatically add to my watch list. For the name of my watch list, obviously I have a lot of things going on here, so I have everything named differently. I also have different tags for what I'm trading. So that's just something you just scroll over here and you're able to change the color of your tabs. Once again, this is all, cosmetic, whatever your preference is for it. You can leave them blank if you would like. Next is the pie. What the pie is going to show is the assets that I have on my watch list. So they're going to basically categorize them. And we'll say, hypothetically, you were playing options and you wanted to maybe build a portfolio. Well, now you can build a portfolio because you could see how well diverse you actually are for everything that's on your watch list. And then if it isn't so diverse, then just add different things so that your percentages can go up. But overall, it just gives you that visual of, okay, hey, you're doing some things right or you're doing some things wrong. You should never be too overly exposed in one sector of anything. So always try to keep it balanced. And then it will just give you all the tickers that you're actually in underneath that. To get out of that, all you have to do is hit the X. Next is the settings for the actual view of your watch list. Some people don't want to look at the last price. They don't want to look at the percentage change. They want to probably look at the value or the extended hours. Once you click it, it changes for you. So once again, this is something else that is preference. For when you set actual alerts, you're going to have a clock. Whenever you want to take these off, all you have to do is hit the X and it will remove it for you. One other thing I did forget on this actual watch list is you can drag this up and down. And when you drag it up and down, it will give you the information of this asset that you're trading. When you're going to get the earnings information, if it's giving out a dividend, if they classify it as a buy or sell or a hold, what its performance has been for the past year. So you'll get all of that data just at the click of your fingers. Overall, what the rating of it is. For Meta, they are saying that it's a strong buy. So even though it is priced quite high, they are saying that it is okay to buy it. It's going to also give you the employee information and different things like that. So overall, just a good read and information shorthand on whatever company you may have on your watch list. And it will change for each company that you click on. So if I click on a different one, it's going to give me all the data for that. And just to move it, you just got to kind of hover over it and bring it down and it will move for you. We already went over the clock. Next is going to be what indicators you may have on your page. When you have certain indicators on your page, they basically are mathematical equations. So like I said earlier, your indicators should not solely be something that you trade with, just in addition to your trading style. But when you have these data on your chart, it will calculate. So if I probably didn't trade yesterday, I could scroll over if I wanted to know what the data was. Overall, what the value of this possible candle was. Just different things like that. It's going to give me that information, the open, the close of the candle, how much it changed, what the volume was overall. And all I have to do is scroll over it and it will change as I'm scrolling over each candle. Now, being that I don't have any other indicators on here, it's the only data that I'm getting. But if I had other indicators on here, it would also calculate that too in a different window. Next is basically a hot list. What a hot list is things that are pushing in volume, whether they're up or down, things that are being talked about overall for the market. Each day, this list will change, but this list is literally plays for anybody that's an option trader because we trade off of volume. So if the volume is high on something, that means that it's being talked about. That means that there may be news, there may be an upgrade coming in. This is all good information just to have and to base your trades on. You're also going to get the losers. So if things are losing as we play options, we know that if it's losing, we should be playing puts. And if it's winning, we should be playing calls. These are plays right here for you. Next is going to be the earnings calendar. With the earnings calendar, that's something that's the most important when it comes to trading the market. For the mere fact is, at any given time, we could go to war. And that might be something that's a headliner that we may not be paying attention to that would affect the market. Biden could speak, that could affect the market. So we're going to get all of that information right here. And it'll tell you. It'll also give you information on the employment rate, the housing rates, CPI, all of that. expectations of it. So this is all information that you need to have in your arsenal just to trade options. Next is going to be trade ideas. Trade ideas is really any ideas you may have or any ideas that you may be following someone on TradingView, because TradingView is also like its own little social media platform where you can talk to other traders, see their ideas, see their charts, share things like that. And pretty much it's just its own community. Here goes, more information on that, where people are just talking and you're able to, look it up. This guy 4 minutes ago was talking about Tesla and Qs. Might be a good read for anybody that is trading Tesla or Qs. And then it gives you the opportunity to be able to talk. Next is live streams. Now, the live streams are not live, but they're, delayed about a couple of hours. But overall, they're YouTube videos, YouTubers. But just like I said, once again, just more information for you to have overall. So any questions on that side of the chart? All right. Next is your left side. Left side is the most important side if you want to be a trader. All this other stuff is great, but you need to understand the tools and why you should be using them. So most people probably have the cross on their chart. I can't deal with that. I'm borderline ADHD, so this will distract me. So I changed mine to an arrow. Once again, preference. Your next one is going to be trend lines. As Cheeks talked earlier, he talked about support and resistance, overall trend. These are all things you're going to need this tool to be able to draw it. So the one thing or two things that you would really be using in this, area will be the trend lines and maybe the horizontal ray or the horizontal line. So I'm going to show you them all. For a trend line, anytime that you draw a trend line, it should always be at the top of a candle or the bottom of a candle. So what do I mean by that? Top of a candle to the bottom of a candle. Now, some people like to put their lines inside like this because they're fixated on having to have taps. This is wrong. Just because it's tapping here does not show that this is a clean trend line. So we always bring it out. And even though it's not fully tapping, these are still points of rejection. And obviously, if you understood a candle, you would understood that situation. But overall, this is 1 tap, 2 taps, 3 taps, 4 taps. That means it rejects the upside and it's continuously falling, which trend line shows that it's continuously falling. So that's what a trend line should be drawn for. You also can draw your trend lines from the bottom to the top, but it's the same rule of thumb. Always make sure that they're not going through the candles. Now, I said that, but what happened here in this situation is when I drew my trend line, this had already broken the trend. So at the time, this was going up. And then for whatever reason, could be news, I don't know, it broke it. So it did not respect the trend. So now the trend is no longer up, the trend is down. So your trend lines will help you with that. For your support and resistance, you should utilize the horizontal lines. And all you have to do is tap that onto your chart. This is a good resistance. This is a good support. Looks like right here, it's trying to break a support. So those lines, if you don't like the long lines, you can always use a half a line. And half a line will be half your chart. With these lines, you are able, up here, there will always be something you are able to change the color of them. So I'll change it to green. I'm able to change whether I want a line or a dash. Like I said, these are all things that are for your chart. Make your chart your own. If you want to get rid of them, you could just hit delete. So any questions on the trend lines? All right. Next is going to be your Fibonacci retracements. All these Fibonacci's are great, but the OG of Fibonacci's is just a plain Fibonacci retracement. For those that don't know what Fibonacci retracement is the rule of thumb is an asset always respects the golden pocket. What's the golden pocket? It's about the 50% retracement rule. So when using Fibonacci's, always use the bottom of the candle or the top of the candle. So you'll always be using bottom or top of candles. When I'm going to click on this candle and I'm going to drag it upward to the top of this candle. Once I do that, my golden pocket, which is 50%. So if I was to make this trade and I wanted to know how far it was going to pull back on me, because there's the difference between a pullback or just a falling knife, you know, when to get out of a trade. If you see something that's pulling back and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop, your max pain rule of thumb is usually the golden pocket. Now, this one did retrace back a little bit more, but overall, when it did, it just shot right up. So this would have to be one of those diamond ham situations of you seen some sort of flow come in, or you seen some sort of value and you were like, I'm just going to hold it, but you would have overall won the trade if you would have held it. And then it retraced back. It just pulled back and fell. So retracements here with this big green candle and this big red candle, and a falling knife is here. So that's all the fib is going to do for you, is just kind of give you that overall look on what is it doing, retracing or falling. To get rid of it, just hit the delete button. The rest of these fibs, I wouldn't touch them. They're just fibs. They look cool, but you know, it's going to take a lot to try to figure these out when you can just use the OG, but they do look cool. Next is going to be patterns. If you guys know me, you know that I'm big on patterns. I'm big on channels. I'm big on triangles. Just overall, every asset will always respect either a channel or a triangle. It's just the rule of thumb. So the tools that I would say you could use in this one would be the triangle pattern. That one is pretty much it. How to draw the triangle pattern. You always find the bottom of a candle. You always find the top of a candle. You bring it down and it adjusts. So as you can see, triangle. What does it do? It breaks the triangle. Historically, you will have triangles everywhere on your chart. It's just a matter of finding them. How to find them? Bottom, top, bottom. So think of this as a low, a high, and then a higher low, because this low is higher than this one. And it can also be drawn the opposite way, where you have it going down. Like I said, it's all preference, but this is overall a triangle. Came out of the triangle a little bit and then shot right out, and it bounced. And if you're looking at the triangle, look at this as a resistance. Look at this as your support. Any questions on the triangle? No bueno. Right. Next in this area is going to be if you're in a trade and you are trying to guesstimate when you should be taking profit, or when you should be taking profit. So first things are the long position and the short position. So long position means calls and short position means puts. So all you would do is open that long position. You would take it and put it at the bottom of a candle. And now this is rule of thumb. For beginner traders, I always say do a 1-to-1 ratio, but you know, feel free to go higher. This trade right here would have been a 17% return. That's, you know, fairly easy to get. So you're good. So we'll say that you wanted to stay in this trade. It's just going to show you when it hits down here in this red zone for a call, you should be getting out of the trade because the trade is going against you. Providing it stays in this green zone, you can hold it for however long you want. So if you wanted to drag it just to see how far it was going to go, you know that if you played calls, this was safe. Even with small pullbacks on it, it was still overall safe to be in a call. And then even now, it's still safe because it's nowhere near your stop loss area. And it's going to be the same thing for the put situation, which you would be grabbing the short. And you would be putting that at the top of a candle. And you're going to drag it down. Your stop loss, or the moment where you should be getting out of a trade, is when it hits the red zone. And you're safe to play as long as it stays in the green zone. And there you go. So this trade was a total of 6%, 3-to-1 ratio on it, and it's still going. So, sorry, 23%, and it's still going. So if you were to play a put, this would have been a perfect play. You should be out of the play when it's in the red zone. Another percentage tool that's in here that I would say would be good to use would be just the percentage range. And you would just take that and place it on a candle, and that, to see how far you'd want it to go. I would try to bring it up here because I see that there's a resistance area here. So with the resistance area here, this move from this move is a 33% move. If you want to move it to the downside, all you have to do is flip it and it'll bring it that way as well. Any questions on that tool? All right. Next is going to be your arrows, your rectangles. Your rectangles should be the most important thing in here because it shows you where consolidation is, and consolidation is when an asset basically stays within a range. It doesn't do anything until it finally pops out. So right here would be a perfect box to put. And how you would play a consolidation zone is, rule of thumb, it's ping-ponging back and forth in this area, meaning that the channel is fairly tight. If it goes up top, you should be in calls, and if it goes down, you should be in puts. If it goes into the middle, you know that that's still consolidation. So all you would do is just drag the consolidation box until it respects or disrespects an area. You can also utilize the arrows, for whatever you want. If you spot a candle, you can basically put it there. You can change the color of it. You can also change the color of your rectangle as well. And like I said, this could just be used for, whatever you want. Your next is going to be your text to yourself. I would say notes, anything you want to write to self. Say that, you're out and you don't have time to look at something, but you know that if you don't, get it out, you're going to forget. So, you could put, if it breaks a certain level to play calls, that'd be note to self. It stays on your chart until you delete it. If, more data continues to go, it's just going to get lost in the back. But, if you wanted to make a note to yourself and maybe a line, if it breaks this area, I should be in calls. And you could just put it there. And like I said, it will just stay there. So the note part, the text will always be something cool to have for yourself. Or even if you're playing a zone and you're like, hey, if it breaks here, I want to be playing calls and I'm going to be playing just this candle. It breaks this zone, I'm going to be playing puts. This is a perfect 5-minute break. This is on a daily candle, so you could have played a daily break. The moment that this candle broke on this area, you should have been going short on it, meaning playing puts, and you would have made money by doing that. And that was just basically putting a line at the top of a candle and then a line at the bottom of the candle. Your next thing is emojis. This is another thing that's preference. Whatever you want to put on your chart, you can put on your chart. So you're able to adjust it, do what you want with it. And it's just, overall emojis. Next is going to be your ruler. This will give you a measure move. So once again, always on a candle, and it's just going to count the bars. Bars and candles are the same thing. And it'll let you know what, the move could possibly be. But this is all for your own use, because I may come up with something different than you may come up with, depending on how many bars we're actually pulling it back to and data wise. So like I said, this one is just more for your trading purposes. Next is going to be the zoom in and zoom out. So how I just made my candles small. If I wanted to make them bigger, I could just take this certain area and only have that area. I don't really use that area, that button so much. I just kind of like zoom them in with my mouse and utilize that on the middle of my screen, and then also my scale. My scale will change the size of my candles, and inside will change the size as well. So I kind of just use that. Your magnet is going to be used for if you decide to put tools, trend lines, anything on your chart. It will basically save them so that they don't move when you click from chart to chart. You're just basically locking them. And that is everything. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. All right. So I'm going to give it back to Cheeks. All right. You should be good.
Okay, welcome. Told you didn't mute yourself. We are back. Okay, so thanks, Queen, for explaining all that stuff on TradingView. All that stuff is good knowledge to know. Like I said, if you want to be a real trader, you're going to use most of the tools. Not all of them, but you definitely use most of them. I had a question to go over Webull. So I'm going to pull up Webull. We're going to hit that up. Got 2 new messages, 1 second. Okay, here we go. Sweet. Okay, we are on Webull. Yeah, that was this right here. How'd you get this background? Okay, sorry about that. Back to Webull. So Webull, similar to Robinhood, not too much. When you go to your main page, you have your watch list, option trader, stocks. This is on the left side of the screen. The different markets you can go on. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen probably. Hold on. Nope, sure wasn't. There it is. All right, so this is Webull. On the left side of the screen, you got your watch list. It'll pop up. Anything you have on your watch list. They do have crypto on here too, so you might have some of that on there. Next one is the option trader. This is where your options at. This is delayed by 15 minutes on Webull. Even when in the mornings, if you want to buy at 9:30, you cannot do that on Webull. You have to wait till 9:45. Let's see. Right here, what stock is this? You go to Meta. I'm in a Meta position right here. How to purchase your options on here is right side of the screen is your expiration dates. You have calls on the left side, puts on the right side. Strike price is right in the middle. So you just want to find your strike price. This is where Meta is now. Now, like I said, it has a 15-minute delay. So these prices, say you click on this price and you try to go buy it. It might not be that price when you buy it. You know what I mean? So the order might not fill. You have to definitely check back, look over here to your right side of the screen where the chart is to see exactly where the price is. but you just want to definitely make sure the order goes through. Like I said, right click on it. It'll come up with buy and sell. That's how you buy them. That's how you sell them. Same thing on the put side. Right click, it'll say buy or sell. Now the Swix. I'm back. Go back to sharing. And question in the chat. Sharing. I said question in the chat, right? Let's see. I have nothing. First question. Yeah, the gamma, delta, what was that, theta? Delta and theta, like I said, the two most important ones. Gamma, really don't overlook at it. You can look at it just to get the definition of it. But I ain't gonna give you the definition because it ain't that important. Because if you're going the right way, you're going the right way. Let me get back to where I was at. Where was I? Oh, back to Webull. So back to Webull. Like I said, here's your options down here. Right click on it, pick your option, trade your option that way. Type in the symbol, whatever symbol you want. It will come up. Across the top of here where it says options that you can always hit the corporate actions, let you know what's happening. Cash dividends going out. Got a little bit of news down here. Financials. How's it looking? You know what I mean? Get your analysis going. It's still a buy. And everybody knows you can go. Actually, look, you have a strong buy, and a hold, and the 6.45 for underperform, and 0% to sell. Basically, that's saying no matter how many Dollar Generals y'all go into, because they have more stores in a little bit. They have more stores in a little bit. And their shelves are never stocked. They always has the boxes in everywhere. But they're not telling you to sell it. Because Dollar General is everywhere. When I mean everywhere, I'm talking about the little towns that might not have a Walmart or a Kroger's. They definitely got 2, 3, maybe even 4 Dollar Generals in them small towns. So Dollar General is definitely a good stock to hold long term. Trade some options on it. But no matter how dirty that store looks, like I said, the stock is outperforming a lot of other ones. Let's see. Going back to wanted to go to the Discord to show y'all Jarvis in there. Okay, yep, Discord's up and running. And let's see, make sure everything's here. Looking for stock tweets. Crypto watch list, stock tweets. Here we go. Our buddy Jarvis. So Jarvis is in the Discord. Go to Stock Tweaks, you'll see it. AMD. Now it's a Jarvis alert. Now it's not saying a lot of flows going in or, so on and so forth. It's just giving you a particular setup, as you can click right on it. It should load up. Minimize that while that's loading. But right here, you can see AMD. So even if this doesn't load up for you, just like it did for me, but you see AMD in there, that's when you just go over to your boy Jarvis. Go to the search bar. Type in AMD. And let's see what type of flow came on it. Okay, so AMD looking real good. Got a whole bunch of puts. Calls bought, no puts. 180 calls, 180, 180 all the way down from top to bottom. They went in right after each other, one after another, 10, 14, 15, 16. So they're pretty serious that it's going to get up there. How much did they pay? This one might have been mine, actually. I think I put that one in there, but don't worry about that. This is a different institution. They called me before they did this. But you know what I mean? They got a little chump change in here. Nothing extravagant, but you know what I mean? They got a lot of money in it. So let's go check out AMD, see where it's at real quick. $172. It went up $3 yesterday. So let's look at the option. They called out a 180. The 180 is worth right now 157. Let's see what they paid for it. Price 162, 171, 183, 203. So they actually paid way more than where it's at right now. But they basically averaged their price in. No matter how high it was, they actually have a good price point on it. So as of now, let's say AMD runs another $3 to $4. That 157 will be right back at 214 to 294. With the $5 move, will be right back to 294. So they ain't put too much money in it, but like I said, they're expecting to make some. Going back to the disc key, like I said, our buddy Jarvis is right there for you. If you don't know what to play and you're seeing stuff on Jarvis call out, go check the flow, see which way it's going, and go from there. Because there's only two ways to make money or lose money. You can't be scared, and you can't be overconfident. Being scared, you're never going to get into a trade. And when you do, you're going to be scared to lose money. That's not a way to trade, so you can't make no money that way. But you don't want to be overconfident to where, hey, I'll pick this shit, and it's going that way, and then it retraces. You're like, nah, it's still going the other way. No. Everybody's fucking wrong every now and then. Point blank, period. So don't be scared to cut your losses. Like I said, but don't get too greedy either. Take your money that they give you, because as you can see, they put a lot of money behind certain shit. So imagine if you're in, we'll go to SPY. The SPY, a lot of people play SPY. Come on, SPY, where you at? Hold up for you, buddy. All right. Let's see if Q's load up. Oh, Q's ain't gonna load up. We'll go to Tessie. All right. So say you're in Tesla, but you have puts. And you go to Jarvis, you see all these fucking calls. And it's like, all right, and there's 2 pages down here. You click over. So 2 pages of calls. And this is, pretty chunk of change that they're putting in here. So you have puts, and then you go to Jarvis, you see all these is calls. Why are you going to be like, okay, my $200 call or my $60 call that's way out the money, put that's way out the money, it's going to print. It's not going to print if you see all these fucking calls and your shit is way out the money. You know what I mean? So if you're losing, cut your losses. Wait to see what the shit's doing. Go the opposite way or get back in it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with cutting your losses. Now, I ain't telling anybody how to trade. You know what I mean? Because this ain't no financial advice. But I'm just giving y'all the gist of trading and making money and being able to keep money in your account. You got to cut your losses. You know what I mean? You don't want to go down too low unless you have a way to replenish that account. If you have a way to replenish your account, hey, fuck it, go negative 100%. then get the next one. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But you have to understand is you have to cut your losses and start over. Back to the Disky. Now, when you're in here, like I said, for next week, I would like somebody to get, well, everybody more than, let's see, we got Iffy that made some monies. We got Grateful that made some monies. Hey, where the hell is the Bam made some money? Oh, like I think everybody in here made some monies. All right, checkmate. Oh. Yep, that's Grateful. Sold all hers, money making. Blockchain Babe, she's in there somewhere. Just seeing hers. Grateful down there wrote a book, Truck Stop. Got some in there. So if you win, please put it in here for the checkmate. But I would like everybody to, definitely take a trade this week. And if you lose a trade, put it in here. Stalemate. Now we all lose. I got my name in here too. So there's no shame in losing. That's how we got this channel. Because if somebody say they don't lose, like I always say, they lying. And this is a big one. That's $839 I lost on that trade. See, it happens. Okay, and please, if you have time, was it worth it? Is where everybody goes to let us know. Was it worth it? Was it worth your time to come to our classes? Was it worth your money, getting into the Discord? But definitely, if you have time, drop a little couple sentences in there and let us know how we did. But don't forget, for Monday morning, options start back up 9:30. Like I always say, go to Queen's channel, see what she's doing, see what she's looking at. I know she's charting stuff tonight, so she'll be bright and ready for tomorrow. Go to her swing trades. If you work and you can't get it in the morning, check out her swings, check out which one she's in. You can actually look at these from last week, and if they've got a good expiration date on them, go check them out. And if they got a good price tag on them, and we're still getting some flow in on that particular option, hey, go for it. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do. Definitely come to my channel. But definitely come to my channel. I think I did Queen charted all our trades. I did 11,000. It's in the announcements. I did 11,000. But if you guys would have held the shit I called out, it would have been up around 17,000. Yep. Come out here. These are call outs just for the week. You know what I mean? Because we're only in the second week? Second week of February. So these are all our call outs for the 2 weeks that we've been in. So Queen has 4,000. This are 3.5% trades that she called out. So she only missed three. Four trades in the last 2 weeks. Here's me. I was killing it. These are the 2 trades I'm still in. I did have a loss. Well, actually, I didn't have a loss because I'm still in it, so I don't know yet. But these are the ones I called out. Hey, like I said, if you would have held any one or all of them, it would be up around 17 grand. So definitely check these out. If you don't know what to play, you got your daily news. It's going to be something in there Monday morning to let you know what's moving. And then don't forget about the morning watch list, which is the stocks that she's looking at for that day. Usually she always has the Fab 7. She gives you the price point. So I'll break this down again. So the average true range, meaning 375, it can go up 375 or go down 375. And let me pull up a chart so I can show you that. So in one day, when she means average true range, meaning from the bottom of this candle, which is 168, to the top of this one, which is 174, that's a $5 range. The average true range for the particular stocks is what's the number that she's putting. But what that means is, like I said, from the bottom of a candle at any time of the day to the top of the highest candle at any time of the day, that's the average true range you can get. So in option trades, we all know $1, $2, $3 move, that's a lot of money for us. So you got an average true range of 375. So right now it would be a 490 call if it breaks over 489.85. Or if it breaks below 488.10, it'll be a 485 put. And it can move 375. So definitely look this out. Check this out in the morning. Like I said, get into the game. Next week, I'll be asking you guys what you played, and we'll be going over the stuff that you played and going from there. And we still got our portfolio building because don't forget to take them wins, drop that couple bucks into something. You know what I mean? $20 here, $30 here, definitely adds up. So anytime you win something, make sure you got your money for your taxes. You know what I mean? Couple bucks for taxes, couple bucks for long terms. Keep that trading money going. But that is all I have for today. Did I miss anything? Any questions? Nope. All right, my peeps. Well, next week I will have the last week. It's been a blast chilling with you guys every Sunday. Can't wait to next week. Like I said, it's fun next week. So everybody, please get an option. Take a screenshot, put it in there so we can talk our shit to people. And by this group is killing it. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but we know what the fuck we doing. You know what I mean? Have a drink next week too. It's on the smoke. Let's see. You guys are so welcome. No problem. Enjoy the football game for you football people watching. I'll be on my stock list and I'll be playing some futures, but my option list will be up Monday morning. I ain't gonna be as pretty as Queens. You know, somebody got more time than me to do all that. My shit is gonna be typed up and telling you this what I'm getting into if it gets past this point. But other than that, that is it. So I will see y'all next week. Stop this recording. Oh no, stop sharing. Meeting is being recorded. There it is.